Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Context Needed podcast. Ryan, shut up. I heard you in my ear then. Well, my name's Kyle, joined here with Ryan, and joining us from the mirror dimension is Ollie.
Hola.
How are you guys doing?
That's hello.
Good eve. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Well, we just all briefly wanted to say, just at the beginning of this podcast, even though it's not we don't want to talk about it, we don't want to open those kinds of worms, we do support the Black Lives Matter movement. We aren't the people to talk about it, we are the wrong people. So if you want any more information or any ways you can help that movement, go to blacklivesmatter.com. We just wanted to open with that and to say we do support it. Moving swiftly on, today we wanted to talk about space.
Space.
We're all very interested in space. We've been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous the past few days, and just wanted to open the podcast with that, to a story as to what happened while I was actually round Ollie's house once, probably a few years ago now. Actually, now I think about it, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, the lube was everywhere. Honestly, it was. Just, it took ages. It took ages to get out of the brickwork.
Well, it was when
stains are still there.
Oh God!
Shut the fuck up!
Stop!
It's private information, man. You can't be telling everybody.
Yeah, it was. This was actually, I think, before I actually got into the details of space and how crazy some of the information could be, because it was going around to
you were in uni at the time.
I think we just finished. We just finished, or it was near the end.
Yeah,
because you and your brother started showing us, 'cause obviously you live where there's fuck all light pollution. You started showing us.
There's a little bit. There is a little bit, but not compared to cities. It's nothing.
When you compare it to where I live, it's fuck all light pollution. So
yeah.
You were showing us all stuff, and all the while, there was me, my wife, you, and your brother. And while we was looking at stuff, my wife and your brother kept on seeing shooting stars, and I was getting really annoyed because I'd never seen one. Ever. And they kept on, I'm looking around oh yeah, the stars look cool, and you was pointing out different stars to me, and then I'd hear them guys go, oh look, another one, oh look, another one, and I was getting so pissed off because I didn't get to see them. And I think it got to the point where I was I was genuinely about to go, you know what, fuck this, I'm going inside.
Fuck space.
Started looking up, and then all of a sudden, just one shooting star literally blazed across the sky and lit up.
It was a fire.
Yeah,
it was a fireball. They call them fireballs. That is actually the correct term for them. Because it wasn't just a streak.
Yeah,
it burst.
It burst. It left a path with itself, didn't it? And
you see glowing remnants once the main thing had gone for a couple seconds.
Yeah,
it left a streak in the sky.
Yeah, and it lit our faces up so much that your brother was about to tell us to put our phones away because he thought we'd pulled them out.
Yeah, it was mega bright. That's the thing, when you're sky watching, it's amazing how much you have to turn all the lights off and to let your eyes kind of adjust to it all. So it's don't get even just someone just quickly looking at a phone, it's like someone flashing a torch in your eyes. It's so bright.
Yeah, it can ruin all the night eye you've got, kind of thing.
But yeah, I remember that. That was it was briefly daytime.
Yeah.
it was crazy. I think you're the only one who saw it directly. I kind of caught it out the corner of my eye, and then I caught the tail end.
I don't
but they didn't see it.
I don't know if the cosmos was just this guy's getting really pissed off, let's just show him something.
Go on, man.
Because it literally was, I was just scanning, literally scanning the sky, just looking about, and it literally, as I turned and looked at one specific point, it literally happened at that point, directly in my line.
Yeah. It was so good. It was, I think, to be honest, that's it. That, apart from, I remember there was not a comet, it was I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been a comet or some kind of asteroid burning really slowly. But I remember it was over Scotland, I think, a few years ago. I'd say that's probably the best I've seen in terms of something re-entering. Yeah. But in terms of more just because it was a really, really good shooting star, I'd say that's the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That one was damn, son.
I think one of the funniest things about space wasn't even me watching space or anything like that. It was whenever I used to play like online games with your brother, like GTA or something, back when he lived at yours, he told me the story about, was it, there's a star that's due to go supernova, like Betelgeuse or something?
Beetlejuice, yeah.
Beetlejuice, yeah.
I mean, the problem is it's so far away, it may have gone up by now and we just the light hasn't hit us yet.
Yeah.
But it's a few million years overdue for a supernova by like normal standards. But the problem is it could happen in 5 minutes. It could happen in another 2 million years. We don't know.
Yeah.
I hope it happens in our lifetime because that would be just insane.
But like,
well, it would be brighter than the moon in the sky. That's how bright it'll be for about a week.
Well, it's like
so it'll be like having a second small sun for a week.
Well, like
nice.
When we was...
Get me tanning glasses on, lads.
Yeah.
Well, when we was playing games, like every now and then, I just hear Tom, your brother, just, hey, blow up! Like, just shout out of his window, just shouting at Betelgeuse. It's like, Tom, it's millions of light years away.
I've got
in a few million years, it'll hear him.
I've got a fix for that. What he just needs to do is he needs to get a row of megaphones like Bart in The Simpsons. Point it in the sky. It's like, hey, blow up!
Well, that's dangerous because you have enough of them to reach that sun. I think the amount of noise it would make would probably make it blow up.
And a few others on the way.
Send the Earth off axis from the pressure.
It would just be ridiculous.
I do love that Bart meme. I think one of the other ones I saw, like people just change what he says, so like every now and then it'd be like suck and things like that.
Yeah, it is.
Take the shot.
But I think we're very much on the space hype at the moment with all the Elite Dangerous.
Yeah,
so,
it's the rocket launch, wasn't it? Did we speak about the launch?
There was the rocket launch.
Yeah.
It happened. It was on the day of the last.
Yeah,
podcast,
we talked about it quite a bit on the day because it was so.
We didn't talk about it on the podcast.
Did anybody continue to watch it? Did you watch them docking?
Yeah, we missed them actually. We missed the actual contact. I can't remember what we were doing on the day, but we missed it. But I think Danny might have seen them like go from the pod onto the station.
I was sat there watching that for the whole day. I was just like,
he hit his head. I don't know if you saw. He was bleeding. One of them. He actually hit his head to the point he was bleeding because he did something. And you could see he kept going.
I see that.
And then later on, he had a plaster on his head. Like,
isn't it quite dangerous to bleed in space?
Nah, not really. I don't think it is anyway. I think internal bleeding is bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's just like a cut. A cut wouldn't be too bad, especially if it's just like a small one that you can chuck a plaster on.
Yeah, I'm guessing you can't really do surgery in space. It might be a bit weird.
I can't imagine anyone's tried.
Get his intestines! Get his intestines!
Well, actually, you say that, but it probably...
You say that, but Surgeon Simulator let me do it, so that's got to be real.
The thing is, you think the microgravity would take the weight off the organs and stuff, so it'd probably have some benefits, to be honest, but it probably also has some negatives, because I know...
If the intestines do get out, how do you get them back in?
Well, if you look at
chasing them around the space station, get back here!
When you look at pictures of people who are on the space station, you look at them when they're on Earth, when on the space station, their faces are really puffy because they retain water and blood. So it does look a little weird, like, because obviously all your fluids are just kind of inside.
Yeah, they're not like draining down.
So like, yeah, it's weird things that you wouldn't consider, but it is weird. I imagine that must feel weird.
They're the only people that have the genuine excuse of the camera puts on £15.
I mean, it's not a camera; it's the microgravity. But yeah,
they're allowed to use that excuse in space, though.
Well,
we'll give it.
Weird
we'll
because
give it.
I'm pretty sure on the ISS they experience 90% of the gravity that we do on Earth.
90%.
But it's because they're not that high. You got to remember.
Yeah,
90%. They're still 90%. Close to the Earth, so the only reason they're floating around is because they're in a ship that's constantly falling, so they're constantly falling.
Oh,
but if you were to build if you imagine a building, a tower that you could stand on up to the height. I mean, you'd be dead because you'd be in space. But let's just for a moment say you could stand on like a structure to that altitude. Then yeah, it would feel.
I just
Minecraft nerd pole.
I just loved how you was like really serious, like explaining. Then just all of a sudden, you literally like sidestepped. You'd be dead because you're in space, and then sidestepped straight back into the discussion.
It's like I see the picture. It's like how much you'd weigh on other planets, and it's like and it's all of them. It's just like you'd be dead before you could weigh yourself. You'd be dead before you could weigh yourself. You'd be dead before you could weigh yourself. And then it's like Pluto. You'd be dead, but you'd be pretty light.
You'd have lost those pounds in no time, girls.
See, I really loved it when was it when Pluto was no longer considered a planet in the solar system or something? It's like considered.
It is a planet again now. It is considered a planet again.
But I remember when
for a while it wasn't.
Yeah, when it got taken out of the planets and all the memes that came out of that, and it was just like all the people taking the piss out of Pluto. Shut up, Pluto! You're not even a real planet.
Yeah, no, it was made. It lost its planet status because in order to have a planet status, you've got to have cleared you've got to observe it clearing out its orbit at least once. Well, it's so far away and orbit's so slow that no one you can't see it.
Observe.
So I think it's because we obviously we sort of figured it had a moon, but we weren't sure. But I think because we got something out there and actually looked at it and we saw that it had a moon, I think that was what got it reclassified. I think. Yeah, I might be wrong. It looks like Ryan's looking it up now.
What is its actual like time to travel round the Earth, or do we not actually know?
It's decades. I want to say it's like 120 years.
Yeah,
about. I think. I don't know if you can look it up, Ryan.
So 1930, it was declared to be the 9th planet.
Yeah, that was when.
And then after 1992, its status as a planet was questioned following the discovery of several objects of similar size in the KUIPR belt.
Kuiper belt.
Kuiper belt, right?
It's
completely.
Yeah, it's basically like an outer asteroid belt, basically.
Okay.
The Kuiper belt.
In 2005, Eris, a dwarf planet in the scattered disk, which is 27% more massive than Pluto, was discovered. This led to the International Astronomical.
Use your words.
Astronomical Union to define the term planet. Formally in 2006. During their 26th General Assembly, their definition excluded Pluto and reclassified it as a dwarf planet.
Yeah, and that was because it hadn't swept out its orbit, I think.
Yeah, the New Horizons spacecraft performed a flyby of Pluto on July 14th, 2015, becoming the first ever and to date only spacecraft to do so. During its brief flyby, New Horizons made detailed measurements and observations of Pluto and its moons. In September 2016, astronomers announced that the reddish-brown cap of the North Pole of Charon is composed of folins, which is there was this weird shape. So folins are a wide variety of organic compounds formed by solar, ultraviolet, or cosmic rays irradiation of simple carbons containing compounds such as carbon dioxide, methane, or ethane.
Okay.
Often in combination with nitrogen or water.
Okay.
Organic macromolecules that may be for the emergence of life.
So just putting it nitrogen. So just putting it into perspective, it literally is just aliens.
Yeah,
aliens.
Yeah. That's it.
Aliens. But it's been reclassified. I'm on the wiki at the moment.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but I want to say it was something to do with it having. It might have been that it has a set amount of satellites or something.
Yeah.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
It's got 5. It's got 5 satellites.
That's it. And I think
I'm presuming that's like what you need to become a planet.
Yeah.
Just imagine Pluto.
Exactly what it was.
I just imagine Pluto busting back into the solar meeting crew like, "Sup, bitches, I'm back."
Miss me. It's me, your boy, Pluto.
Pluto's orbit time is 2.17 million hours.
So what's that?
What's that in years?
Well, years, yeah.
48 years, I think, from what I can see.
How many?
148.
Yeah. So that's why it
You'll
was
never see
previously.
an orbit.
Yeah,
We'll never see an
no
orbit.
living person has seen it.
Did you say?
Back to
Did you say
orbit.
2.7 million hours?
Yes.
2.17 million hours.
2.17. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, let me do the maths here.
I've got this. It's 247.7 calendar years.
It says here orbital period 247.94.
Ah, fair enough. Google's calculator's probably not as good.
Yeah, I'm just this is the wiki, so I'm a bit.
Yeah,
But that's just where I'm putting
either
the
way,
information.
it's a very fucking long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd be here for a while just
247.
looking to get multiple different sources telling us how long.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
also 90,560 days, I presume.
Yeah,
Which is
See, it's like-
247 years.
I don't understand. Like, we've got such good technology nowadays, and we very rarely are actually sending out these probes just to like see what's going on. Like the last one to
Because
go
it's
past.
not profitable.
Oh, I understand
it's
it's not profitable, but
Unfortunately.
yeah, but like knowledge is so much more incredible than fucking profits. I mean, we've all seen that
It's-
YouTube advert, but I don't care about these two cars. You know what I care about? Knowledge.
Knowledge. Knowledge. I love that video.
Me and Ollie were talking earlier, and we're saying the problem is governments nowadays. Obviously, back in the day in the Cold War, when there was the massive space race, there was this goal, and it was
we say space race. It was pretty much just an arms race hidden as a space race.
hidden as a space race.
Actually, it was just a load of actors in a warehouse.
Warehouse with some blue screen.
Where's the tinfoil hat?
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh god, he's got. I shouldn't have said it. He's got to get it again.
Boys,
Okay.
I'm back in. I'm safe. They're
got
not
it.
sending the rays anymore. So yeah, what we were saying is like, obviously, way back in the day, they used to have
the
aliens.
CIA.
The CIA, man. They're everywhere. They're trying to probe my mind. They had obviously there was the space race, or it was an arms race, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But we did obviously from that we got men on the moon, and then we continued to do that. And as time's gone on, there's been no seeable profit. Like that's the problem. Like everything's slowly become. Obviously, we've not got that kind of we've got to do everything before them. It's not like a big competition.
Yeah.
Is what we were saying is too many governments nowadays, because I was actually watching a video and it turns out we sent a few ships up into orbit. The UK did. We didn't launch them from the UK. I mean,
We sent
Here we go.
a lander to Mars, the Beagle, but it crashed.
This is
Of course, it crashed.
didn't launch.
I want to say,
Somebody
sorry,
else launched that for us.
they did, but we made the lander. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
what I
for
mean.
us. But I want to say it might have been Beagle, it might have been something else, but it crashed because we gave them the flight data in metric and they used Imperial.
Yeah. No, that is
God.
exactly right. That
That's
is
it.
exactly right.
Yeah,
So it was
they-
incredibly wrong.
Yeah. So
well, it's amazing it got to Mars with that calculated error,
Yeah.
but they still got there, but it fucked up the landing because they were using the wrong thing, and that's yet another reason why the Imperial system is shit.
facts.
Metric life.
This message is brought to you by the Metric Gang. Yo, fuck inches.
I
I only want to measure my dick in meters.
I'm sure I remember there was like a Japanese comedian. There was this female Japanese comedian. I think she lives in London, and she got onto the subject of like why she's very confused as to our measuring systems, because we use the metric system for like meters and stuff like that in measuring.
We do, yeah.
But when it comes to our cars, or when it comes
Miles
to
an
like
hour.
traveling somewhere, we use miles. And she's like, but which
Yeah.
version of miles? Because there's different ones. You can't be fucking accurate in miles. It's so confusing.
Well, our miles, even like our miles per gallon, are different to US miles per gallon
Yeah.
as well. So they're even like different imperials. It's just
fucked.
arbitrary.
It's all fucked.
It is. It's just like, one furlong, which is 346
I like to
flops.
see. I like to use the term leagues. I think it's easier.
Ah, yes, yes.
I only measure in light seconds now.
Yeah, that's it.
Light-
That's
light-
measure it.
Light seconds and megameters.
Yeah.
What
Go on.
we're saying is obviously just trying to get back onto
Yeah, sorry, a bit of a
where we're
tangent.
going with this with space. Is there's not obviously that kind of direction. There's no obviously with Elon Musk and a lot of private companies coming in now. They're seeing obviously what you can do. Is it Jeff Bezos?
Jeff Bezos, yeah.
Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos, yeah.
He's come out. His idea is that we're going to move heavy industry off the planet and move it elsewhere. So I'm presuming the moon. I've not looked into what his ideas
Probably,
are.
yeah. I
So
mean, there's a
we're
shit
That's
load
his
of-
idea.
We're just
It
gonna
makes
have
sense.
loads of adverts for like fucking Amazon warehouse workers, and they relocate you to the moon.
Yeah. You've been
Spacesuit not included with job.
You've been selected for
Yourself.
off-world relocation.
Yeah, you don't
Um,
actually get a choice in it. He just picks you, and that's it. You are now part of the moon landing.
Do you think the combined forces are just Amazon in Half-Life? Do you reckon it's just like Amazon for 3 years?
Actually,
It works.
that you say
works.
that could be a thing.
I think it's just Amazon.
Yeah. But obviously, the governments have not got any kind of monetary gain out of that. The only gain they get is
No.
from taxing people and being bastards.
Yeah,
Being bastards.
being twats.
So obviously, that's why they stopped. I mean, we actually launched, like I was trying to say, we launched a rocket into orbit from Australia, and then I think we all launched that, and then we stopped. And that's always our problem: is we just stop.
Did
Yeah,
The
we?
you
UK is just like, nah, it's
See,
not worth it. It's just
Did we try and launch this one and make it land in a very specific area at high speeds?
I just knew we launched like one, and we actually got it out, and it was
It'd
called
be-
the lipstick rocket, and that was
The
I
lipstick.
didn't really read into it. Yeah,
I'm a-
because it looks like a lipstick.
I'm gonna
It was
Google
was
this.
it probably just like it was probably like a satellite or something. I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, like but we've
Um,
never launched stuff after that. I mean,
Oh
we
wow!
were
be
Yeah,
fair-
it really is a lipstick.
I don't know if we're launching it, but we are. A British company is currently planning a lander on the moon, and the lander's really cool. It's literally this little cube with like spider legs, and I
Yeah.
forget what it's called. I was just trying to find it on my phone, and I can't for the life of me remember what it's called, but I follow it on Instagram. But,
China. You go ahead. Sorry, you go ahead. China.
China.
That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead.
Yeah. So China actually, this is something that I would, without us getting into space and looking into it again, I would never have known that they actually did this. But China actually launched and landed the first, the first thing ever to land on the dark side of the moon, and also it was like an unmanned probe. But they actually landed on the other side. They've got and they worked with NASA in America, even though there'd been a law passed to say that they weren't to work with China. China were excluded from ISS. Basically, a lot of things because China.
China. You need to do the bottom lip. China.
China. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not a big orange.
No, you gotta do that weird. You gotta do that weird, like purse your lips, but also bare your teeth, like China.
I know a
China.
lot of good deals. I know a lot of good deals and people.
But anyway,
So they actually launched and landed some on the thing, and I think China are a region or a country that probably wouldn't have seen a lot to do with the moon landings and
no,
more
they probably wouldn't have.
because of obviously nowadays the Great Firewall of Doom and
Yeah, the
all the other
censorship.
shit they do. Well, there's a lot of problems with China, but I think it's good that within their country, they are obviously doing stuff towards aerospace, and
Yeah.
I think the future of mankind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of a shame that it's fallen on like privateer businesses to pursue space travel, but I'd rather that than no one's doing it.
No one-
Yeah,
Yeah,
at least someone's
Well,
doing it.
Well, that's the thing. The governments were like, "Oh, you'll never do it. You can't do it. You can't privatize spaceflight." And there was like a bunch of big science guys
Watch
came
me.
out. And Elon Musk's just there like, "Hold my fucking beer."
I'm gonna
He's
launch
like-
a car into fucking space.
One guy goes, "Well, with that car, he launched it, didn't he? But he also had all those satellites around it."
Yes,
They
for the
then
cameras.
launched out. Yeah, I didn't realize there was all the satellites there. I was like, oh, I just thought he launched a car.
It'd
in
be
space
really
for the
cool
fun
if
of
you
it.
could find that satellite on Elite. That would be
Oh,
so
that would be
cool.
so
You could find
awesome.
Tesla.
That'd be awesome.
Someone message Elon Musk on Twitter. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, let's,
At Elon Musk at Elite Dangerous.
I mean,
shall
I don't.
Tesla in space, please.
I don't know how long it's. If you want to look up how long it's meant to be in orbit, because I know Elite Dangerous is about 1,300 years in the future, approximately. I think it would probably still be in orbit.
it doesn't matter how long it's going to be in order. It needs to be an Elite Dangerous. I need to see it.
Yeah. Well, I want to land because one thing you can land on a lot of bodies in our solar system on Elite, but you can't land on the moon yet, and I think that's probably because it's so well mapped that they haven't like converted it to the game. But I would love to be able to land on the moon, and then I want to find a lander. This is going very well. 2 people Google searching. I'll just keep talking.
I'm not Google searching.
It's
I'll
got
let you know
an
what I'm
ID.
doing.
It actually
Private,
has to
right?
have an
What?
ID to be launched into space, so you can see the COSPAR ID.
Yeah.
For it being up there.
I thought about this the once actually. You know how like obviously it's a growing problem that there's a lot of
Shit
there's
in
more and
space.
more stuff going into space. Why don't we just make a huge fucking orbiting station with loads of terminals on it that can be expanded that we just shove all the communication arrays on and put
Yeah,
them all in
like-
one place?
We need like obviously
to,
there's
just to
ISS.
interject.
We make
Sorry,
the... Go on.
just to interject. I just tweeted Elon Musk and Elite Dangerous, and I literally just said, "So when are we going to see the Tesla that is orbiting the Earth in game?"
Yeah.
Right.
We said we'd tweet him.
If that
Twitter.
happens,
I'm getting on Twitter and I'm retweeting this.
Daddy Elon, make it happen.
I want cat girls in Elite Dangerous.
Elon, make it happen.
Make it happen.
I know it's not true.
Elite Dangerous developers are sitting there like, but he doesn't even fucking make the game.
And somehow he still does it. Oh.
Yeah, it's a thing like you're saying though, with like the private companies taking over. Yeah, it would be better if it was governments doing it, I think, because it wouldn't have like the privatization thing happening like you said, but
Yeah.
someone's doing it. And that's what
They're the
matters.
guys who are
Actually,
denying it, though. They're the people
you-
who've come out and were like, you can't do this. You'll never be able to do this.
But actually, in a way, it's kind of a good thing that it's businesses and not governments. Because I think that the concern is, or what could happen with governments, is that if it comes to the point where we're claiming territory on planets, it would just become, oh, this is America's, this is Russia's. Whereas if it's private companies, well, they're not acting on behalf of countries.
Yeah.
Welcome to Elon Muskopia.
I mean,
So-
I think I want to say there's laws in place to basically say that you can't own anything in space. I think there have been like treaties passed for that.
But what
Yeah,
about
they're
that
recognised
website?
as
What
one.
about that website where I could buy a star and name it after my wife?
You can do that. You can have things named after you. That is a real thing.
Don't mean you
Oh,
own
wow.
it. Just because you paid 20 quid for your name to be on a star doesn't mean it's yours.
I want to own the
Yeah,
star.
I mean, as you've seen from Elite Dangerous, there are a lot of stars that are just like some word and then a fucking load of letters and numbers after them. So it's like,
LGP 684.
yeah, I want to call that one Sharon.
I still think, like, I mean, obviously with Elite Dangerous, one of the funniest things I definitely saw was what I put in the Discord when it was like, "Oh, we need you to assassinate the well-known pirate Ian Watkins," and obviously, a lot of people who may not know, Ian Watkins is the frontman of was the frontman of the Lost Prophets, who was
Google
done-
his name. Just
just-
Google
yeah,
his name. We're
just-
not going to talk
Yeah,
about
we're
it
just
not going to
Google
go
his
into
name.
it.
because that is some nasty shit.
It's
And-
nasty shit, but it's just funny to see the game like, yeah, we want you to kill this guy.
Yeah, I've had that same mission. I think I reckon they deliberately made his name
So
a
you
pirate's name.
you
on
fucking let him get away? Is that what you're trying to say?
I killed him, man. I turned his ship into fucking confetti. So
I fixed your tweet.
maybe
Kyle.
ejected.
What do you mean you
retweeted
fixed
and
my
I've-
tweet?
I've added hashtags so we can get some more traction on this. I mean,
Yeah.
we need
Oh.
to get this shit out there.
As you can see, I'm not a very big like Twitter aficionado. I don't understand the hashtag game. I don't even do it on Instagram.
I don't.
I'm also going to ask my friends to retweet my tweets because we need this retweeting.
Yeah, that'd be rad though.
Please
That's-
retweet my tweets.
I think we should
Links in description.
once Kyle gets into the Sol system, we need to go just have like a tourist flight and just go look at cool shit.
Yeah.
On the left.
Let's go get a picture with Voyager.
Yeah.
Remember, this is the top 1%.
It's about cruise liners.
If you've not played Elite Dangerous, every now and then when you're in like Super Cruise, which is like when you're in a system, it's how you travel between the planets. You constantly see like in the notifications in the top left.
Well, you get comms from nearby ships, don't
Yeah,
you? Basically,
so you'll just every now and then just see. Just a reminder, we are in the top 1% of cruise liners in this system. It's like, okay. And if you look to your left, you'll see the Federation.
yeah. Oh, we need to. Someone should, as an Easter egg, they should put something from Fifth Element because obviously there's the big space cruise liner. You should be able to like find that or something.
Oh, that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
To be fair, there's so many Easter eggs they could put on a.
There are a lot of Easter eggs on Elite Dangerous to be
But I
found.
mean, there's like one really simple one you could do. Can you land on Mars? Because if you could, just make it so if you land at a certain area, it could just have blue skies for a brief moment.
Well, Mars does sort of have bluish skies at times.
Because it's that. Is it Total Recall? It's like blue skies on Mars. Or is
there would be blue skies on Elite Dangerous because on Elite Dangerous, Mars has been terraformed and has an atmosphere, so it would have blue skies.
Okay,
is there a statue though for our Lord and Savior? I can't remember his name now. I feel really horrible now. The little robot, the little robot we had up on Mars.
Oh, Curiosity rover.
Curiosity.
I can
remember
find
as
it
a child watching that launch. I can remember as a child. Waking up in the morning, news is on TV, and you're like, oh,
I think it was
spaceship.
It was actually
Who's seen how big? Gone.
It was actually quite sad when they posted its last message.
Oh man.
And its last message was something like
that wasn't Curiosity. That was it was a rover, but it wasn't Curiosity. Curiosity's still going, I think.
Oh well, there was one that
you'd
said
have to look it up.
It was like there's a fault.
I'm getting cold.
I'm getting cold, and it's going dark, and it's like, oh my god, that's so sad.
I'm crying.
I can remember Curiosity being launched, but there was another one which was launched before that, which I'm thinking.
Yeah,
that might be the one that said that. It was the one that prefaced. I can't remember the name now, but
it was the one, and it wasn't meant to last. It wasn't meant to last as long as it did.
No,
they were like, oh, it'll die in like a year, 2 years, and it fucking.
It finished its mission, and then it kept going. Then it got stuck, or something broke, so they used it as an emplaced lander, and then just slowly, like its solar panels got covered in dust and stuff, and it couldn't make power anymore. That's why Curiosity has a radioisotope generator. So even if its solar panels get covered, it will always have power.
I think it was Opportunity.
Opportunity. That was the one.
I believe
it was Opportunity. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name, but it was Opportunity. But what's crazy is you think of the Curiosity rover, and you think about it maybe being like, I don't know, a meter by a meter, maybe.
They're quite big,
it's fucking huge. Like it dwarfs a large like SUV. It's huge.
Let me I'll get the specs.
Be amazed
at how big it is.
It's big. It's way bigger than you think it is.
So its last contact was 2018. I can't believe it's 2018 now that it was last contacted.
I heard that.
So let's have a look.
But then it was it's the end of the mission was declared on February 13th, 2019.
Oh, for Curiosity.
No, this is for Opportunity. So it last contacted on June 10th, 2018, but then they declared it.
The actual mission over,
yeah.
I've got the dimensions of Curiosity.
Yeah, go on. It's big.
Its mass is 899 kilograms, including 80 kilograms of scientific instruments. It's 2.9 meters long by 2.7 meters wide by 2.2 meters in height. It is taller than me in every way.
It's huge. You don't realise how big they are.
The pictures just don't make it look big, though. Every time you see a picture, that's a small little robot I could have in my next to me here.
Yeah, I think it's
like,
obviously
next
it's
to my
because
bed.
they put them on like barren planets. Obviously, it's on a barren planet, so there's nothing really there for like context. It's not like
and
it's
it's
next
Mars,
to.
and Mars
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
bigger than the Earth anyway, so it's going to look emptier.
I know. Shit, I was gonna say. Fuck, I was gonna say something. It's completely slipped my mind. Never mind.
No, like
It'll
when you was on
come to
about when you was on about the power source, yeah, it was like it's powered by a radioisotope thermoelectric generator, which is like
Yeah.
that just sounds
It's
dangerous in so many ways.
It's
Wait.
a small nuclear reactor. Basically.
Is it on Mars?
yeah, Curiosity is.
Why didn't they just send that fucker to clean up the opportunities? They should have given it like a fucking
They're
duster.
nowhere near each other. They're like.
Well, they should have landed it close.
They
They could have had a friend.
They could have made it land to it. Just give them a jump start. That's all it needs.
Just push it. Come on.
Rolling start.
They
could have had a drag race.
I'm not sure, but I seem to recall someone with drew a dick on Mars of Curiosity. Like you look at the tracks, and it's like they'll have you think that it's just a coincidence, but it's like someone's definitely
Someone
drawn a
sat
dick
there.
on Mars.
Wasn't you able to take control of Curiosity or something?
You are, but not in the way you'd think of like a remote control car, because it takes the signal 20 minutes to get there.
Oh, is it like you can just like turn the camera or something?
Well, that's how it works. Like it's literally a case of they'll say, drive forwards 5 meters, turn left 10 degrees, drive forwards a meter, move arm 2 degrees. Like it's all because you have to send it commands and then wait for 20 minutes to get there, wait for it to do it, and then 20 minutes for you to see it happen, and then another. It's really slow.
Yeah.
Thing is that that's what we've got.
Yeah.
So we've got to use it.
And to be
Yeah.
fair, when you think of the actual distance, 20
It's
minutes.
far, man.
Yeah, 20 minutes is not fucking long for that distance.
Yeah.
It's not it's speed of light. It takes light 8 minutes to get to us from the sun. So it's to put that in perspective. Yeah, so it's further between us and Mars is further than us to the sun. Sometimes I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's closer.
It
but obviously
depends
it's on the
where
other
we're
side.
on the orbit.
Yeah, on the orbit. Yeah. But pretty. It's weird to think because you'd think on Mars or everything. Oh, like you probably could drive something on the moon like a remote control car. It's only a second delay, so it'd be a bit. It would just be like a laggy remote control car, but you could do it. It would be easy enough.
So that should
Just
be
quick-
a new business model. We're gonna put a load of RC cars on the moon, and we're just gonna rent the signal out to people to drive them around.
Oh my
What
God.
do you think would happen if, let's say, you made a business, you send a lander, it's a huge container full of 50 remote control
Thing
rovers.
is, you'd have to make them a certain size, otherwise, would the gravity not really have much effect on them?
It doesn't matter as long as they go.
Is it not?
you'd have to
Isn't
go
it set?
slow, but it would be
I
fine.
can't remember. I'm just
It's
being
about
stupid.
It's about a third of the Earth's gravity. So no, you're right. If they're light, they would. You made them all aside. If you got a remote control car that's on Earth that's quite quick and you put it on the moon, provided it had enough traction and you did it, it would probably just flip itself up. Probably
Yeah.
because they're just,
Yeah.
or it'd probably wheelie anyway at the very least.
Yeah.
So you'd have to
But,
weight them, wouldn't you?
You probably would. Well, weight them, or you just drive them. That you just speed limit them, probably.
Yeah.
You'd have to
'Cause-
make them like the off-road ones,
Well,
if anything.
you
'cause otherwise they won't
wouldn't.
get-
You wouldn't want to weight them because, as with everything with space travel, more weight is more cost. More
Oh,
weight
yeah.
is more fuel, more cost. So you do want to be light as possible. So, but let's say, okay, you send some. It's about the size of a shipping container up onto the moon. It lands. It's full of remote control cars. They're speed limited, so they can't go really fast. And maybe they got proximity on them, so they can't crash into each other. And they've got a thing, so they can only go so far. How much would you?
play.
How much
pay.
would you pay to drive a remote control car on the moon for 10 minutes? Realistically, how much would you think would be a fair
For
price?
10?
For
10 minutes?
For 10 minutes. I genuinely I could understand it'd be expensive, but I really like the idea of being able to.
I
do
think-
something
Yeah,
like that.
I'd do it. I'd do
I-
it.
I'd
but-
pay,
Maybe like
£50.
£1,000? Oh, I'd pay more than that. Fucking hell.
The
50
thing
quid
is,
would
though,
be enough.
thing is, we don't know what the cost is to actually send the signal. I mean, if we get the equipment, it's once you've got the equipment, we've just got to
It's
put in
not
the
hard to send a
cogs.
signal to the moon. It's
No.
really
Yeah.
not. It's just you just send you send a signal to it at the end of the day.
But
As
I
long
mean,
as you've got
you're going to have the equipment to send
Point
it. Or
point ear thingy at moon. There we go. That's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the expensive part will be the rocket, not the comms.
Yeah.
Yes.
The rocket is going to be where all your expense is, because for the rest of it, it's basically just a long-range internet
Ollie,
connection and a
Ollie,
remote control car.
just throw it really hard.
Yeet! But like, wouldn't that like? I feel like that would be a pretty cool business model to just send like little remote control rovers. They don't do anything. Maybe land them in like I don't know a crater or something.
I was thinking like
a shallow crater, so they can't exit a certain area. Once they're maybe they can track their battery power. So once you're a certain distance, a certain battery, they just turn back and recharge or something. But like, wouldn't that be cool? Even if you're driving it at like not even 1 mile an hour, just to say like I'm controlling a rover on the moon.
Yeah.
I've got an even better idea, right? So you make the rovers like little Tonka trucks, like the big dumper loaders in the big
and you can
diggers.
dig up the dirt.
And then you sell it to kids and families. You go, you can help us collect scientific
samples.
That's actually a really fucking cool idea. I do that because like I said,
idea,
you get to dig it all, you get collecting the rocks for them and stuff, and it'd be like, oh, if you collect a load of rocks, we can then get them sent back and stuff like that. It'd be so cool.
Like they'd probably have to be monitored 24/7 for abuse and stuff. But like, wouldn't that be kick ass just to like play with a rover?
Right, anyone listening to this podcast right now? We are fucking trademarking this right now.
Elon,
we've got our fucking eyes on you. We want you to
Elon, I want a job. Please, do you need IT support? I'll come and do IT support.
Oh, but like, that would be just cool. That would be so cool because it's close enough that it would be feasible.
Yeah, it'd be fucking expensive. Very expensive to get them up there.
I remember I drove
the type
a little
of gimmick people would pay for, so you'd make the money back.
I feel like it would make money. The only problem would be is that if you have some kind of technical fault, it's like fuck, it's on the moon. Can't
really nip across to the office to sort it out.
No.
Well, you'd have like,
wheel
I'd
falls
presume
off.
You'd have like one rover which should have like robotic arms and stuff.
You would have to have like a fleet. You'd need a fleet of maintenance robots. And then you'd have to have something like, a set of robotic arms that can take them apart and you can solder and grab and cut and modify them and stuff.
Yeah.
But that would be so fucking rad. Just like, I that's one thing I was saying the other day, because I've been to Kennedy Space Center as a kid and I can't remember much of it, but I do remember they did let you drive these little mini Mars rovers in like an enclosure. And
they have them at the National Space Center in.
I've never been.
Leicester, they have. It's probably not as big as Kennedy because obviously America, everything's bigger.
Yeah,
but they've got like a little Mars rover. You can kind of like. It's obviously a miniaturized version of it, but you can.
It's not.
They might have got rid of it now. This was. This was when I was a kid. This was when I was like 7 or 8, I think. I can remember my birthday. I got to go to the National Space Center.
Yeah, I went to Kennedy when I was 6, I think.
I think the thing is like we're saying though, there's not enough kind of, well, hopefully now with SpaceX launching, kids will be looking at it and going, I think I want to do space stuff.
I feel like our generation as kids didn't really have, unless like you were specifically interested. Which, to be fair, as a kid, I've always been to space. Even as a young kid, I found the idea of space really cool. But like, back in the 60s, 70s, kids were thinking, I want to grow up to be an astronaut. And it's like, don't really get that anymore. And it's kind of sad because it's like the hype for space is gone.
The hype train's gone.
See, I was late to like the space hype, so to say. Like, it was always something that was interesting. I'm not saying I wasn't interested in it, but it wasn't something that was like, you know what, that's actually really fucking interesting. It never pulled me in that way. I genuinely think it was games like Mass Effect that made me have that interest, because obviously I'm
definitely
replaying it now on the stream anyway, and obviously the story is really well written, but just some of the coolest bits are when you're just looking at the fucking galaxy map and you're just there like, holy shit, there is so much fucking stuff.
I think there's a lot of stuff like as a kid. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I was like really. I didn't get to do things, but I didn't get to show and kind of participate and have as much interest in a lot of things because the way I kind of do it is I like getting involved in something and I will buy something. Like, so obviously now I'm a man child. So I've been released.
You are literally the
job. They're like, here's money, and I'm like,
you are the definition of I will throw money to get my problem to disappear.
Basically, that is me. That is me. Like I just look if I do everything. I see something, I'm like, oh cool, that looks cool. I want to try that. I'll do it. So I've brewed.
I remember
Brewed cider in mead.
That's the same way mine turned out. I brewed beer.
It was drinkable. It wasn't good. The mead was just let's just put
Let's
that
not
Did you
talk
make
about that one.
alcoholic? Did you make alcoholic yeast water?
No, that was mine. That was mine.
It was just piss. It was just piss.
God.
But that's it. It's like now as an adult, I'm able to look at stuff and go, "That's cool. I'm going to do something like that. I'm going to go and do this, and I'm going to interact." So I think that's like, and then people take the piss and they say, "Oh, look at all you man children." It's like I'd rather go out and spend my money going to like the National Space Center again, even though I'm an adult, or going.
I want to go. I've never been.
It's
I want to go.
I've never been.
But it's like I'd rather do that than go every week and just go to the pub.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
to
fucking hell,
go
yeah.
to the pub and then have like an Xbox or a PS4 and play video games like Call of Duty. I mean, it's just boring. Like, well, to me, it's just boring. I'm sure there's plenty of
I mean, it's
people.
like you
I
say.
understand the appeal.
Yeah. It's one of those things like we all three of us here play games. We understand that.
Yeah.
We understand the game, but I've got a feeling we all have that kind of like. I sometimes don't just want to sit here and play a game. I want to go out and do something. I want to go and see something. I want to learn something. And like how you were saying, like people like to take the piss out of Manchild and thing because you went to the Space Center. Me and the wife, like a couple of years ago, went to Magna because we'd been planning to go to Magna since uni, and it took us literally like 4 years to get back there. And if you don't know what Magna is, listening to this podcast, it's literally a big industrial estate that's been changed into like an educational thing where you get to learn all the four elements. What is it? It's like earth, wind, fire, and water. And each room you go in has basically like loads of cool things showing off how powerful these four things are. So like you go into the fire room, it's got a fire tornado, and you've got this extreme hot plate, and it shows you how water evaporates on it and things like that. So it's just all cool science stuff. We went back there.
Where's that?
It's actually next to Sheffield Meadowhall.
Oh, okay.
So it's just off just off the M1, and it's amazing. And we went there, and like we turned up there, and we're like the only adults that are just adults there. All the rest are like kids, and it's
Kids
like
and parents. Yeah.
kids and parents, and maybe a few like I wouldn't say young adults, but I wouldn't say like they're in between the young adult and the teenager. You know, where they're not quite old enough to go out and go partying, but
probably about 12, 13, maybe 14. Well, I say that they're probably doing that these days, but like I know what you mean.
Yeah, so and we were the only adults like really getting involved and like looking at all this stuff just because it's cool to learn shit.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoy like the living museums a lot in the UK. There's a lot of living museums around. There's Beamish, which is up in Yorkshire, which is really good. That's got it's got a tram, an old-fashioned tram that runs all the way around. It has buses running around and cars, and there's people. And the thing is you go there and there's people living as these people from the past. So you get to see the talk. They will tell you about like the history and stuff. So obviously they're not completely in character, but you will find moments from in character. There's
a place near me that does that.
Yeah. There's a Black Country Museum, and then there's
Bliss Hill, which is by me. That's one of those.
See,
I've been to.
See, I've never done like the living museum stuff, but I remember with my dad, we used to go to a lot of like National Trust places for like all the older like buildings and stuff. But I remember once we was. I can't remember where the house is, but it's what's his name? The scientist with the apple that dropped on his head, even though the apple didn't drop on his head.
Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton. That's it. There's a building where he apparently had the apple drop on his head or something. Or I'm probably getting the scientist completely wrong, but there was a scientist's house that we went to back from those days, and it showed like his study and his room and all of it, like the idea of where he'd work and his notes and stuff.
Manor, maybe.
But there was one of the funniest bits about this extremely scientific person's house was right on the entryway, because of at the time there was a mold of a hand that had basically been molded into the it was not brickwork, like the rock work, but it has a 6th finger, because they believed that's what witches had, and if there was a mold like that, a witch would understand that a witch already has hold of this building and they won't bother you. So it's like extremely scientific person's house, which has done a lot for science, and they're worried about witches. So it really shows the kind of one of the smartest guys in the world still scared about witches.
Yeah, gotta look out for those witches, man.
So yeah, I think where you're talking about is, because I'm just on the website for National Trust, and it's called Woolsthorpe Manor. Looks quite interesting. There's I went and bought myself. I've got a National Trust membership.
Where is it?
I fucking love going to those places. It's great.
Fucking my National Trust membership card, man.
Yeah,
Well,
see,
Valid
I never.
until the 28th of February, 2021.
Yeah, see, I don't have one because I don't get to go to them as much anymore. It was always like
There's a lot of them around here because I'm in the sticks. There's so many around.
We've got quite a few in near us, Kyle.
I know. There's a lot, but the issue is all the ones near here I've been to multiple times because I used to literally go every weekend with my dad. That was like, it was one of the things that my dad did because my parents
National Trust boys.
Yeah, my parents split up, so I would go see my dad at the weekends, and we'd literally every Sunday we'd either be out on mountain bikes like Lady Bower or Sherwood Pines or places like that, doing like long cycles, or we'd go to like National Trust places and spend the day there and have like a picnic in there, because they didn't want us to they didn't just want us to like sit in the house with them. They wanted to take us out and show us stuff. My dad did. It was my dad and his wife.
That's good.
And that's, to be honest, I'm so thankful I had that, because I learned so much and I had so much fun doing it.
Yeah, to be honest, like, if ever, I would like to have kids someday, and if I do, that's exactly the kind of shit I want to do with them. I want to take them to I want to share with them the things I'm interested in, but I also want to take them to interesting places.
Like the fucking moon.
Like the fucking moon. Drive a remote control
in the
car.
rocket! Woo! Let's go! Old Russian ICBM.
Fasten your seatbelts.
It's like,
Do you know what we say when we start to burn up? Suka bliat!
Oh, where?
It's that ASDFS movie, isn't it? I want to go to the moon when I grow up. Why? Wait!
There's another one, actually. I'll send you later. It's just like, I want to go to the moon. It's like, and it's like Kennedy, and it's just like, little boy, would you like to go to the moon? Would I? But then it's like, it cuts to him like on the launch pad. It's all intense. Like, now, little boy, remember to disengage the fuel couplers. And it's like, I don't know what to do. And then the rocket just blows up. Like, so, with all due respect, you really need to stop sending kids to the moon. I wish I could.
Yeah, well, when actually saying like with the disengage this and this and this, they have to learn so much stuff to go up there, don't they?
It's intense shit, man.
Because don't they have to pretty much know how to do the entire maintenance of the entire ship before they can go up?
Pretty much.
All of them, like anybody who's an astronaut, really. From what I was watching, what's his name? You know, the guy who did the David Bowie song up in
Chris Hadfield.
Yeah. I was watching some of him. So basically, he's Canadian. He was an ex
Air Force or something like that.
And he obviously took part in like Air Force testing as well, and he'd got the knowledge, and obviously he's then gone up and he's been an astronaut. But then everyone else you've got, they're all scientists or engineers, or they've all got a specialist subject, where they've been to university, and they are super smart already. So this is like just another. To me, it's like it is rocket science to me, and it's like blows me mind.
You know that time when they say it's rocket science? Well, this literally is.
This is
rocket science.
Literally rocket science. And that's what it is. And I think it'd be great to be able to send more normal people up, but I mean,
Old
that's why
Dave
they're
from
doing
down
it.
the pub, 6 pints in. Come on, Dave, dance at Moon.
He's the type of thing is that you go down the pub and there is old Dave down there, but he's the type of twat who tells you he's been to the moon.
No, he's the type of twat that tells you that the Earth is flat and the moon doesn't exist.
The moon's just a cardboard cutout.
Cardboard cutout. Just hang it off the rafters of the
It's just
film.
a drone with a light.
I love how we both literally went straight to fucking cardboard cutout.
Like it's some sort of old play, and they've just got it. It's like a theatre prop.
It's just hanging from a string.
Well, that's
I
because
think-
the sky is actually a carpet woven by God, and the moon is actually just hooked on the carpet.
That's something as
And when
well,
it rains,
'cause
that's actually God pissing on us.
this is the reason we're not going to space more often. Is because we've got idiots like them.
Yes, we do.
The problem is with the internet, everyone can find them too easily now.
See,
There's a. Oh, God.
I wish I was so incredibly rich so that what I could do is I could literally just go to as many flat earthers as possible and say, right, so you think the earth is flat. Okay. I will pay for you to go to space. And then
Disconnect the fuel coupler.
I'd let them go up there, and then I'd make them realise after they'd land, there'd be 2 landers. One that could return, and one that couldn't. So when they'd get there, they'd all come out and go, oh wow, no, this is fake, this is all CGI. Okay, we'll see how long you survive in this CGI world, and then just leave them there.
Well, I mean, they could just say that you stranded them, but I think it's more so just send them up and don't bring them back.
You just start to send them up, and you go, "Hey, disconnect the fuel coupler."
Well, it's like, this is fake. All right, open the door.
Open the door.
Yeah,
Pull
go
down
on.
the green screen, bitch.
Yeah. Oh, no, that would be beautiful. To be fair, you can send them up to... you don't have to send them to space. You can take them up just in a high-altitude flight and you can see it yourself.
Yeah, because you can do that in the States, can't you?
But
Go
that
on
would
those
be
planes.
that'd be
And in Russia.
easier. It's easier for them to get back to the Earth if you do it that way. I'd want them to go further away.
I have my sound pointing at the plane.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I've got a site as well.
I was going to say something before and I can't remember what it was. Oh, there's a really good Mitchell and... you guys ever watched that Mitchell and Webb look?
Not all of it. I've seen
I've
clips.
watched a lot of it, but not all of it.
There's a really good sketch on that where it's like they're plotting the moon landing. It's like, right, we need to convince people that we've gone to the moon. What are the costs involved? Well, to be honest, the biggest cost is I said the first thing we're going to need to get is the really big rocket, because first thing people are going to ask us when they say we went to the moon is, well, where's the rocket? And we're going to have to say we went up in that big rocket you saw. It's like, okay, what else? It's like, to be honest, not a lot. Mostly catering. It's like it'll cost. They're like, right, okay. It's like, and will that be cheaper? Well, no, not really, because.
I just saw that door open and then shut instantly.
Like, well, no, not really, because it will cost more to hire and feed an entire film crew than it will to feed 3 astronauts. It's like, well, I'm just spitballing ideas here, but while they're up there, should we just pop to the moon? It's such a good sketch. It's just like, it's true. It's cheaper to go to the moon than to fake it.
That was the
I think
thing.
the one
There
gets
was,
me is the fact that
Go on, Ryan. You go
you
first.
go ahead, Kyle. No, you go ahead. You go
Okay,
ahead.
so
You first.
there was there's a brilliant YouTube series, and I think it's a TV show in America now as well, called Adam Ruins Everything. And
I've heard of it. Yeah.
it's if ever you get a chance to go watch it, it's so funny because he just does like misconceptions. Like there's one he did where it's all about like you need to drink more water, you need to drink more water, and it's like, no, you don't need to drink a crazy amount of water a day. Your body has a natural function to tell you that you need to drink, and that's called thirst. And he does like all videos like that, and like he's where I learnt about the DeBauer's diamonds and how diamonds aren't actually rare; they're just being embargoed.
They're really not rare.
Yeah, they're just embargoed kind of thing. And he did the moon landing one, and they do it all in like a comedic kind of sketch where they like show the stupidity of everything. And it was obviously, it was Stanley Kubrick who did it. And it's like, oh, well, if you look at the way the light works, there's no way conventional lighting at that time could do the shadows that you see on the picture.
You can't achieve that lighting.
Yeah,
It
and
has
just like,
to be from the
well,
sun.
it would be they'd use like LED lighting. It's like they didn't have LED lighting back then.
They didn't have that.
And it was like, and he's like, it goes and does this comedy sketch of Kubrick, like, we need a laser that can make the light be refracted in a certain way, and they make this massive laser, but it's only one laser. You go, right, now we need an entire wall of them. It's like, seriously, at the time and the technology they had, it was actually cheaper to go to the moon than it was to fake
Than to
the
fake
moon
it, yeah.
landing.
I think the thing is, there's just so many people out there, and they're just so wrapped up, and you just kind of sit there and you're like, how are you thinking this? I'm like, why would we just build this big metal dildo and call it a rocket
Go,
and
"Let's
not
get to the
actually
moon,"
use it?
really.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, wait, you know all that film footage, and you know all those people who actually been and seen the rocket launchers and watched the astronauts get on. Do you not just
Didn't happen, mate. Didn't happen.
they're all being paid? They're all being
They're paid actors, mate.
lie?
Yeah, there's
what's
thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are paid to keep this lie. Trust me, after working in a game studio with 160 people under NDA, it doesn't fucking work.
It's so stupid. It's like it's just not. But there's something ticking in their minds, so they're just like, yeah, this makes sense. This makes.
To be fair, I mean, you see it with everything. You've seen it with the whole COVID thing, where people come up with conspiracy theories.
5G.
People just want to believe that they know something that other people don't, and they like that feeling of being in the secret club that knows the truth.
Well, I don't think it's a secret club. I think it's, especially nowadays, I definitely think it's more of a superior thing. Like, let's face it, when someone knows more than you, people think, oh well, they're more superior to you. And people have that ingrained into them, where it's like, I need to be better than this person.
I need to know more.
It's that it's the
I've
saying
got friends
as well. It's
like
like it's the saying where it's not enough to succeed, others have to fail, and that is the whole thing. It's like you need to have the biggest disparity of whatever it is, money, power, knowledge, between you and the other person in order for you to feel good. And I genuinely think that's one of the things they get from trying to be like, I know this, and you're just a sheep that's following the media kind of thing.
News flash to anybody who is like that and they are watching, you're an idiot.
Just stop watching.
That's it. Simple as. Just
that
stop.
is
You're going to be berated at every podcast. Just stop watching.
Yes. Just stop watching. Don't come here and expect us to be friends with you if you think that's real.
Well, it's like before you say, well, I've done my research. Firstly, something you saw on Facebook isn't research.
No.
Secondly, peer-reviewed papers are research. And there's a lot of them out there that will tell you otherwise.
And I
It's
think
like
the best
prove themselves wrong.
The best thing about white papers, or most white papers on scientific discovery, archaeological discoveries, on all these kinds of research papers, most of them are freely accessed to be read. You don't have to pay to read
all
them.
out there.
And there's some fucking amazing ones that are well worth the massive read. Even if you only read, like, what's the first page usually called? It's where they have to base...
Oh shit!
The mission statement or something like that, isn't it?
It's
because it's basically what they have to do is the entire
Summary.
It's
like
basically
a summary.
Yeah. So
but
say it's a 20-page, it's a 20-page investigation into something. They have to drill down everything they have in that 20 pages into like half a page. It's basically a
like
TLDR.
Letter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a TLDR of the paper, basically. But obviously, you don't get any of the data specifics or how they got the information kind of thing. But it just lets you know what you're in for, which is... It's a very easy way to find a paper that you want to read, because you can just read that mission statement or whatever it's called and go, oh, wow, that's actually really interesting. I'ma read this.
Is there like a specific website where you can view all of these? Because I've never really looked into reading it. Or is there like...
It's a case study, isn't it?
Case study, yeah.
No,
a case study is
case
what they...
study, right?
No, a case study is what they use to get data. A case study is...
It's really bothering me that it's like a cover letter, but I'm thinking what the fucking name of it is, and it's driving me completely insane. I can't think what it is.
We'll figure it out, because we're gonna need to probably close off for now.
Yeah.
But if seriously, with the white papers, if ever you get a chance to go and read some, that Adam ruins everything, because gaining knowledge, gaining intelligence is much more fun than just, going to the pub and chatting with Dave about the football, in my opinion.
A good video for people to watch. Most people, if you're not familiar with them, Vsauce is a fantastic channel.
Yeah, Vsauce is good.
Go watch some of their older videos, which are don't get me wrong, I love that they're a bit odd and memey. But there's a very good video from a bit before that called Distortions. Watch that video because that is a fucking good video. I love
Somebody good I've just started watching as well to watch is a guy called Everyday Astronaut. He does some really good videos. He just talks about rocket launches and stuff going on at the time, like currently now as well. Cool. It's really good, worth watching.
We could do with making a link dump actually for this podcast. Thinking about it,
yeah,
so
that would be good. Just
things.
like a Google Doc thing, just full of links to information that we've talked about or anything like that. So that's probably something we'll definitely look at getting, because we're always, like we said, we're always about, if we're going to be corrected, we would like to be corrected. We're not the people to just say, oh no, we're not wrong. We like to learn information. We want to know that what we're talking about is correct, and if we make things wrong, we want to know we've got something wrong to correct ourselves. So
knowledge.
You know what I like more than these two no cars? Knowledge.
I think is it a glossary? I'm just reading.
No, glossary is to do with the words. So say there's a word that you've never heard.
I'll find it after. We'll find it later.
We'll look into this and we'll come back.
We'll come back. We'll let you know. So we're closing off. So if you've got any questions, queries, or information that you want to send our way for stuff to talk about, you can drop us an email at the context needed email is contextneededpodcast@gmail.com. But from me, Kyle, I'm going to say goodbye, and from you guys,
aliens.
Always got one coming.
Aliens and read white papers now. Read more. Read more. That's it. Read more. Keep
your eyes to the skies.
Well,
watch out for UFOs. China.
Right, we'll see you guys next week, same time, 9 p.m. GMT. And thanks for watching or listening, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.